Hey you.
How you doing?
Okay. I'm good, Joe. How was your day?
My day was good. Today I watched the film. No, I watched
Mhm.
the it was
That
on
you
Netflix.
you sent me a message that I must watch. So please tell me why is it a must watch? Why do you say this movie in particular is a must watch?
I don't want to give any spoilers, but I think that
Try.
when you talk about rounded characters, when you talk about characters who they're not necessarily making the right decisions, but their decisions are justified. You understand why they are making the right decisions, even though you are not accepting of the decisions that they are making. Everybody just, you kind of get everybody. You understand it. You can relate. You're like, oh, if I'm in this person's shoes too. It's a tough call, oh. Ain't nobody judging anybody right now. I can't even judge them. You know how sometimes you can just like this guy is just wicked, or this person is just a rubbish person. But all the three main characters, I can't even judge them. I get it. Like the story is so you're just I'm wondering how is this going to end? What's the end of this, please? How is this going to end? And I think that that's good storytelling in there. That's why I said you have to watch it. It's a
Okay, I'll check it
series,
out. What did you say the name was again?
a marked art.
A marked heart.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a
All
series
right.
on Netflix. So 14 episodes. But yeah, like
14 episodes is a lot too.
it is, I know. Hi Christiana.
Hi Christiana, hi Amete, welcome on board.
Hmm.
Glad to have you guys.
14
Okay,
episodes,
so
I know it's a lot, but yeah, like it's
when do you have time to be watching 14 episodes? My writer think it's not what over. I can see that you
very
have a lot of free time on your hands.
nah so
We have to
which free
intensify
time.
the work that we're giving. You're not working hard enough. You're not earning your pay. You're
Really?
sitting around watching 14 episodes of
That will
a show.
benefit Writers Inc.
Okay, until I see the benefits. Until I see the
Nah,
I'm
that will
asking HR to send you a query. You're watching series
HR, she said,
when
did
you're
you people give me
supposed to
work
be
I did
working.
not do? Wait, I don't understand. Did you
We'll,
people give me
we'll
work I
find
did
out
not do?
now. We'll find out now. Let's continue. You know, like when people don't do work, you should make up work. You should wake up and say, you know what? I have a story.
Wow.
I have a yes. We're paying you
Wow.
handsomely.
Wow. That's interesting. Okay, well, I bet you. I don't yell.
All right, welcome guys. So if you're just joining us, this is the writers room, the beginners community. One of the things that Tope and I are pretty passionate about is building a community of writers, especially the beginners who because I mean, and that's some of the conversations that Sophia and I are going to be having today about, how it was starting up, all the challenges and all that, but we'll get there. But I mean, we can relate to people who are starting in the career of writing. A lot of times in Nigeria, writing is more like a hobby. It's seen as
Hmm.
something you do on the side and some, do something serious with your life, right? You want to tell
Yeah.
stories, does that. So
Mm.
it's one of our passions that hi sis, I'm seeing Nani Nabugo. Hello Nabugo, welcome.
Yes,
So
we're all
yes, so
about.
it's one of yes, so so it's our passion, one of our passions that we try to build a community at least to the best of our ability. Nigeria is happening, everybody's working, we're busy and all that, but to the best of our ability to build a community where people who are starting off in the screenwriting business or just in the movie industry generally can reach out and ask questions, um, get their questions answered. Another thing is that a lot of people hide stuff in this industry. They hide stuff, they don't want to tell you how they did it, what they did, you know um, how to get ahead, how to get your stories, to producers, how to just generally how to move forward. Our story was a peculiar one. It was a unique one because God was really involved. So I won't say that we had the major struggles, right, that a lot of writers have, but it's still relatable. We can still relate, and I think that we can help in one way or the other. So this live basically is to connect with writers, especially like I said, people who are just starting out,
Yeah.
and then get your questions answered. So if you have questions, you're wondering generally anything about writing, how to get better in your craft, how to
Yeah.
get better as a career, take it as a career or as a business, or whichever way you're place that you're having challenges or anything, you can please drop your questions and we'll do our best to answer them. All right. So
Yeah.
that's basically what the Writers Room community is about. It's us trying to build a community of young writers, people who are trying to push it in the screenwriting business, who may not have had headway, or they are starting up and trying to get better, or just generally enjoying the career, just starting up. It's for us to build a community of people you can lean on, people you can ask questions, and just get better in your craft generally.
Mm.
Okay.
I
So if
also
you're
wanted to
joining us,
say,
okay, please go.
no, no. Well,
So
I
I
just
just
wanted
want
to.
to round up by saying that we have a training. It's
Uh-huh.
called the Writers Room course.
Okay.
So if you also want to get better in your craft, it's an amazing way to start. Why? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
easy. It's very easy. We're not talking over your heads. Anybody can learn to write um, from that course. So you can take the course. We're teaching dialogue, plotting, characterization, finding your voice, talking about story, all the aspects really of getting you from story to professional script. So
Yeah.
please do well to, all the classes are free on YouTube. I mean, like I said, trying to build community. So we put all the classes for free on YouTube so that it's easily accessible, and you can use that as a way to, as a stepping stone to build your craft.
Okay.
Right. And yeah, if you also know people who can benefit from this live, please send them a message and let
Yeah.
them know so they can join. All
And
right,
don't
Papa,
forget
you want to say?
to like, share, subscribe. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
wanted to. I just wanted to say that, materials on the channel they can watch, even the behind the story, one or two those videos, quite a lot from videos and
Mm-hmm.
how we process these, all of that. They will learn that. I just want to add in.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. So somebody already asked a question. I saw the question before it disappeared
No,
about
I,
how long does it.
I pinned it. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
I can't see it though. I can't see it, so
Okay.
you can just read it.
So it says, how long does it take you guys to write a full script for a movie?
Oh yeah, I'll talk first.
Uh-uh.
I've been talking since talk
why,
the whole introduction.
why am I
Talk
asking,
first, talk.
answering the question?
I just told you now, I've been talking since we came on this live.
how long
So
does it
answer
take
the
us?
question.
How long does it take us to write a full script? So usually we tell clients 6 weeks. That's what we tell clients. We tell the client 6 weeks, but that doesn't mean that it takes us 6 weeks to actually write the script. It depends on what the story is, to be honest. Some script take. I know we've done. We There was a story that we had, that stigma. We had that story,
Okay. Yeah.
and tried to write it. It wasn't just working, and then one day we just turned it and switched it, and before we knew it, everything was just flowing. And I think we finished the outlines that day, right? So if you see our videos, especially in the, let me pin this. Give me a second. Let me pin that too. Okay, I think I have. So if you've seen a couple of videos, I think it was in the plotting or structure class in the writers room um, videos that we have on the channel. One of the things that I scripting outlines, then
You keep breaking. I don't know if it's me. Can you all hear her clearly? Because she's breaking on my end. I'm not sure if it's me.
but I can hear you clearly. Okay.
Okay.
So no,
Keep
no, but
going.
they should let us know if they can hear me clearly.
Okay, so please let us know if you can hear Tokwe clearly, if she's breaking in any way.
Okay. So um let me know the track. Bottom line is it varies. They're just different stories need different things. But when we're relating to the clients, we tell the client 6 weeks. And the reason we say 6 weeks is because sometimes we have other jobs that we're trying to, finish up, right? And so another thing is story. We always say the story needs time. When you read upon a story, sometimes you're trying to, crack the story and it works immediately. You just hit gold with the story. There are times when some stories they need time, like you need to just leave it for a while and then come back to it. So um it just varies basically. I hope that answers the question. Except teacher wants to add anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's no hard and fast rule, like you've said. It really depends on the story. Um, it could be anything from a week to 3 months to 6 months, depending on how tough it might be for the story to crack. So, um, but if it's your own personal story, you can take as much time as you want. But if you're
Yeah.
trying to do it as a business and you're trying to get paid for it, then the faster you can churn out good scripts, because it's not just about being fast, it's about being fast and good. So the
Yeah.
sooner you can churn out good scripts, the better for you. So think of it as, if I spend 3 months doing just one script, whatever I get paid for that script, that means that's my 3 month salary. Is that what I want? Does that make sense to me? Is that okay? Those are some of the questions that you ask yourself. And if it's not okay by you, then you need to double up your speed. All right. Do we have any other questions there at the
I
moment?
so Amete says, please ma, are we going to have a WhatsApp community group that will help us have better access to in case we need help in the writing process or we need to fill our scripts? This needing the
So, sorry, what did you say?
I said this needing to sell scripts.
Yeah, so I mean, the WhatsApp community, it's something. It's a thought that we're toying with. I still have some concerns
Mm-hmm.
about putting, everybody on the WhatsApp group, but we're still thinking about it. We're still weighing the pros and cons. As soon as the pros overweigh the cons, we will go ahead to open a WhatsApp group and send links out and see people who are interested in joining. But the thing is, some people just join the group and not really be working writer, or just be there for one other reason or the other. Just be different reasons how you can vet, and then opening your number to potential scammers. Just a lot of. I just have some concerns, but like I said, we're weighing the pros and cons, and if we decide to go that way, then we would send out that information. But yeah, thank you for that question.
Okay, so somebody made she says is Stanislaus. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Yeah. So, God bless you all for all you do for the writers community. But honestly, this has been a blessing and a curse for me. Oh, wow. Okay. A blessing because of the knowledge you all pour into the community. You didn't finish, you. Why do you think this is a curse? Like, why? What's going on? We'd like to know. Okay.
Okay, please send that in and let's know so we know
Yes,
how
and let's.
to address that. Okay, well, while we're waiting here, I just wanted to talk about some of the early challenges that we had coming into the industry as screenwriters. There's always the drama of, oh yeah, bottom of the food chain. Oh yeah, this, that. So, what were some of the challenges, if any? I mean, if you don't have any challenge, you can let us know as far as the big chick that you are,
Mm.
right? So, uh, okay, I think he's done. So, can you read it? Because I just see the question and then it disappears on my end.
It says a cause. Let me read it. It says a cause because I can't watch movie with my baby brains again. I watch it from a scriptwriter angle lately, and even though I try to just enjoy the movie as it goes, subconsciously I can't.
I don't know how to help
Aww.
you. Welcome to our world.
Okay. I can't help you. Me, you have to be able to have compartments in your brain, you know? So when you're watching a film, and yes, because that's what you do, certain things will jump out at you if you're watching a film and it doesn't feel right or it doesn't sit right. So I don't know if you were here when I was talking about the series that I'm currently watching, and I was using that to explain to DICHE that it teaches so well moral justification, right? So the characters are well rounded. They're 360 degrees. You don't necessarily need to like what they do, but you understand why they are doing what they do. I mean, it just shone through so well for me. I couldn't help it. Even though I'm enjoying it, me, I know how to enjoy film. Oh. Even film that I direct, if I'll sit down and enjoy it like
Yeah,
audience, I will
yeah.
I will just be feeling myself. You would think I'm not the one that directed it. So
So, well, okay, when you're done, because I think one of the things I totally understand what the person is saying, and I think that is why I don't just watch random movies. I always thought recommended movies because the movie has to be at least good enough to a certain standard, so that I'm not spending all my time seeing the flaws, thinking about the flaws. So at least it has to be enjoyable. So that if there's a flaw, is one or is two or is, there are few and far between, right? But if it's a really bad movie, I can't enjoy it because I'm just thinking, what the hell is going on? Why did they do
mm,
this? How did they write this? What kind of ridiculous dialogue is this, right? So I
mm,
don't, as a rule of thumb, I don't just, I'm scrolling through net and just click any view somewhere. I always, something, how somebody must have told me this is a good movie before I
mm.
go and try it. So no, I get you because if I was just clicking on any movies, God, that would be such a terrible. I can't do it.
Funny enough, I'm not like DICHE. I can look through film, like I can look through a catalog of films and then I'll say, okay, I'm gonna watch this. Okay, let me give this a shot. Let me give this a shot. Usually, I'll recommend a film for her or a film to
Mm-hmm.
her. Yeah. And sometimes, even though it's a rare occasion, she can just say, "Oh, go and watch this movie." I'm wondering, somebody must have told DICHE to watch this film.
Yeah. Oh yes. Somebody told me about it and I watched it. You can be sure.
Yeah.
Or
So
I read the review somewhere and then I went to watch
uh,
it.
so I look through. There are some films that when I just see the trailer, I know I am going to watch this film. For example, when I opened my laptop that day, opened in Netflix, and then I saw Bridgerton adverts. There's always a major ad that
Mm-hmm.
Netflix
Mm-hmm.
does before you now see all the other films.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw it, I didn't even know it was Shonda Rhimes at the time. I just told myself, I am going to watch this when it comes out. There's another film that I saw recently. I can't remember the title. I put it on my watch list immediately. I know I'm going to watch it because of the trailer. I just knew that I was going to watch it, and I have the feeling that it's going to be interesting, right? So I can scroll through films. Usually, what attracts my attention or gets my attention is the poster, the blurb, or what you call a short summary or synopsis of what the film is. If I read it, if it's not catchy, I feel like being there, done that. What was this one? Moving on next. But there's a way that the synopsis will be written. I'll be like, okay, I think let me give this a shot. So those are things that I look at when I want to pick a film to watch. So Christina is asking, can I write my script on Google Docs? Dee, you want to take that? I think there are other questions. Let me check through that.
Okay, writing your script on Google Docs, that's so stressful. Why would you want to do that? I mean, there are so many easier ways, easier what they call it, softwares to use. So first
Yeah.
of all, it's not professional to write your script on Google Docs. I don't know if you're
Mm-hmm.
writing it for your own pleasure, for your own leisure, just for yourself, or if you're writing it as you want to write commercially. You can't write on Google Docs. Nobody's going to open it. I won't open it. Like I will open it and close it back because it will be such a Herculean task to read. But if you write it on a proper software, proper writing software, I mean, there are a couple of ones with free trials. So it's not like you have to buy them off the bat if you can't afford it yet. But you can
Mm.
start with free versions, and then as you begin to sell your scripts and get some money or get money from whatever side hustle you're doing, then you can now get the paid version and download it and use it. So yeah, so professionally, first of all, you can't do Google Docs. No serious-minded producer or director would touch that script with a 6 foot hole. 6 foot hole. Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Oh.
Then I mean, it will for you. It's so much stress because you now have to arrange everything manually. You have to do everything manually. But when you're
Mm.
writing with software, once you've written a character's name, so for example, if Tokwe is one of my characters, once I write next after I've written Tokwe once and pressed enter, the next time I want to write Tokwe again, once I see Tokwe comes out, right? It's so much easier seeing
Yeah.
headings, all those things. So there's a lot of auto adjusting, auto corrections, auto so many things that can just help you, do
Yeah.
your work properly. The actions are in the right place, the headings are in the right place, transitions are in
The
the right place,
margins as well.
dialogue,
Everything. Yeah.
margin, everything. So Google Docs, no. Nah, 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 nah. Don't do that.
What you can do on Google Docs though is do your
Is your
outline. So for
outline.
example, yes, that's what DICHE and I use because we're not in the same space all the time. So because Google Docs is live, you can see what I'm doing real time and I can see what she's doing real time. So we get on Google Docs, we do our bit sheets on Google Docs, and then when it's done, we're like, okay, you're writing from scene one to this, I'm going to write from scene this to that. If there are going to be any changes, we make it there so that we're both aware. If she's not available at the time and I'm working on the outlines, I could just tell her when I'm done, "Oh, babe, check it out too." So we'll share the document with each other and we're able to work simultaneously.
Mm.
Right. So yeah, I hope that answers. We'll have another question. Is it a question? The person say, good evening, Maz. This is Lulu Skill. I truly love your movies, absolutely inspiring and God backed. For me, I feel like content creation as a side of screenwriting, plots, and characters. My question is, okay, so what is the question?
She
This
didn't
is
get
my
to the
question.
question.
No. Okay, no. Are there tips and tricks to learn when making content in terms of characters, plot, and the likes, if that makes sense? Okay.
So what you're asking is tips and tricks for the whole career. That's like saying, are there tips and tricks to being a doctor? Um,
Sorry,
or
let me
did I
before
not
you
get it?
before you answer that, so the softwares, the writing softwares that teacher was talking about, you have Final Draft, Celtex. Celtex is spelled CELTX. Celtex. You have Fade In. You have Movie Magic. Is it Magic? Something Movie Magic, sha, right? But the industry preferred one is Final Draft. Celtex is good too. Fade In too is fine, right? So you can check out all this. Fade In, Fade, and then In, right? You can check out all the softwares. Those are writing softwares, professional writing softwares that you can use. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I forgot my train of thought. What was I saying?
You said that's like asking tricks and tips for the
Oh,
entire.
yeah. I mean, it would be very difficult to say these. Excuse me. These are the tips and tricks for screenwriting. Like it's such a broad thing. It's like saying tips and tricks for law, tips and tricks for uh, being a doctor, right? Because you have to see this thing as a profession. If you see it as a just tell me the tips and tricks. It's even like saying tips and tricks to cooking. I can give you tips and tricks to cooking a goosey soup, but I cannot give you tips and tricks to cooking as a whole, right? So
Mm.
saying that, tips and tricks to was it screenwriting or content creating? I can't remember what exactly the question was right now.
Content creation. The person is
Yes.
like the person is comparing content creation
Mm-hmm.
to no, not it's not a comparison. Just saying basically that he or she thinks that there's still some level of scripting when it comes to content
Oh,
creation.
absolutely.
Yes,
Of course, there
but there are
is.
no
There
tips
is.
and tricks really. You just need to learn the ropes.
Yes, you just need to learn it all. And then after you've learned it all, I mean, if you now have like a specific question to a specific thing, but because I don't know if you've taken the course that we have, I think you
Yeah.
should take it to help you. um, the Writers Room beginners course is on YouTube. Very easy. You can take it. And then if you now have specific questions after taking the course, then it'll be easy to answer you. But saying, tips and tricks generally, that would that's a tall order. And I'm not sure that we can do that in even 1 hour, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, so right now we don't have any more questions. So we're talking about the challenges, We never still talk this challenge. People just they throw questions.
It's good now. That's why we're here now.
No,
So please, if you
I
have your
mean,
questions, please send them in Again, we
Yeah.
have our course. It's called the Writers Room Beginners Class. It's on YouTube right here on our channel. So check it out. And then please tell your friends. Anybody can send the link, this link to, so that they can join in, ask questions. We're trying to build a writers community, especially the beginners, so that navigating this would be much easier for you than it was for us, because yeah, generally that's it. So we're talking about the challenges when we first started out, some of the challenges that we had, and any of the challenges that you remember.
Like you said, I mean, our case was a bit, different compared to what people go through these days, I guess. But I know that when I wanted to get into the industry, because that was before you and I met, right? I know that I during my service here, I had a couple of things that I'd written, which is another thing. A writer writes, so don't wait for somebody to give you a job. You have to have if you tell me you're a writer and it's okay, send me a sample. You cannot not have a sample. Like, it's ridiculous not to have a sample, right? So you need to have a sample readily available in case you get an opportunity. So I remember that, I was just thinking, how am I going to get into the industry? How is this going to work? I knew that writing was what I had to do, but I didn't know how to go about it. And then I was talking to my sister, and she was like, oh, she has a friend who knows Yinka Ogun. And I'm like, are you serious? You mean the Yinka Ogun, the creator of Tinsel? Like, I thought, this is a big deal. But the friend now said, okay, oh, no problem. Oh, I will link you to Mr. Inka. Mr. Inka, I think we got on a call or something. Before I saw him, I see, when? Eventually, even when I saw him, right, he was going somewhere. So I had to meet him up almost like it was all of 10 minutes. You know how somebody wants to make a turn, and then we just took the turn, and then I came down on the other side, right? I'm not sure if I shared the story with you before. That was how I saw
Mm-mm.
Mr. Nkata. Yeah, that was how I saw him. And then, while we were in the car, he just said, why do you want to write? I said, because I love writing. He said, eh. I said, yes, sir. And I said, okay. But you know that you cannot be waiting for muse to take you. You have to just look at your laptop and write. And I was wondering, why is this man telling me all this? I said, I want to write. You are trying to discourage me. You don't want me to write. But it was later on that I understood what he was saying. Like, you have to be able to look at your laptop if you want to. He said, if you want to write commercially, you have to be able to look at your laptop and write. You can't wait for muse to take you. And that stayed with me. After that day, I will call him, he will not pick. Even when he picks, he will say he's in a meeting. Can I call you back? He will not call me back. I will send him messages, different things. But so I was trying living my life. I was serving in church. I was doing everything that I wasn't stuck on. I was doing other things. Right, so I wasn't stuck on, oh, I'm not in the industry, I must do James Bond, I must go out of my way, I must do unethical things just because I wanted to get into the industry. This is what God has told me that I'm going to do. I must, no. I decided that I was going to do it God's way. So I kept living my life. I did other jobs. And then it was when I was doing other jobs, I was working in a brand's firm. And I think I shared the story at the last live.
Mm-hmm.
I did, right?
Yeah, you do that. We have a whole YouTube so
Yes.
about the whole story.
Video.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Called
you could
Our
just
Story.
highlight the challenge and how. Yeah, I mean. Mm.
Yeah, so my point is, it was even when I felt like I had a connect inside, right, with Mr. Inka, it was still a whole, like, it was a Herculean task trying to get him. I gave him something to read. He read it. He gave me feedback. I said I'm going to adjust it. I adjusted it. I sent it back to him. I did not hear anything. I know now I can relate because people send stuff, right? And it's not like you don't want to read it. Sometimes you see it, you even download it on your laptop and you're like, okay, I'm gonna get around to it. Like today, I woke up this morning thinking that I wanted to respond to Ayo Ade, or what's that guy? That guy that sent us a script. I said he should send the full. Can you remember? You're scratching your head. Yeah, so I saw his mail and I was like, oh shoot, we were supposed to respond to this guy. I haven't. But my darling, here we are. The day is over and I've still not responded. So I'm still not responding. But so it's not because we don't want to. We want to, but there's just so many things getting in the way. So now I can understand that. But it wasn't an easy thing, right? I think another thing also is not knowing the operations of it, how things work in the industry, because the tendency for you to be taken for granted or be cheated in court now. And I use that word light. Is it likely now or not likely? I'm not quite sure, right? So what I mean is, I remember the first paid gig that I had in the industry when we were done with the story conference and we were leaving. The producer came out and handed me an envelope and said, take for your transport. And I thought it was weird because in other industries, when you go and do work for them, you come with your transport fare, you go with your transport fare. The best they can do for you is to give you food, right? So I thought that you fed me. I came here on my own, yes, but you fed me, you treated me well. I had a good time because we were discussing story, and then you're still now giving me an envelope. And when I opened it, I was like, When I go, I was shocked. But if he wasn't a nice person, he could have kept that money in his pocket and I would never have known. Or maybe later I would have found out. Right. So I think also knowing what operates or what obtains within the industry is another thing, so that you don't get cheated, so that you know the things that are your right. I remember also when we wrote When Love Happens, and again, like DICHE said, this story, there are gaps in there. We're talking about the challenges now, right? But if you want to know about how we got together, how everything getting into the industry, as it were, we have a YouTube video called Our Story is on our channel, so you can check that out. I think it's in 2 parts, so you can check it out. All the details are in there. So the second thing for me also is the fact that you having to work with people that are of like minds. So when you do eventually get into the room, are you able to synergize with the people? Because you now see that you go into a writer's room where you have to work with other people, being a teammate. Are you able to be a teammate with other people? Are you able to work effectively with other people? I think that those were, because you now see people who want to give you attitude. And if you don't handle those kinds of situations very well, you just earn yourself a bad reputation, and then nobody's calling you for jobs anymore. So those are the 3 things that quickly come to my mind right now. Do you want to share?
Okay, I will share, but I saw a question or somebody asked. Person said, "What's the difference between a producer and an executive producer? Is there a difference?" So yes, there's a difference. The executive producer is the person who brings the money, right,
Yep.
or who makes the funding happen. It might be the person that actually funds it with their own money, or might be somebody who sourced for the money, right? So that's the executive producer. The producer is the person who makes all the parts work. So you think of an event planner, for example. So the producer is the person who's hands on, getting the script writers, getting the actors, getting the director, getting the people with the crew, the equipment,
Mm-hmm.
disbursing the money, making sure that the funds, the budget, creating the budget, making sure that the budget is followed, solving problems on set, just making sure that the ship does not sink. That's
Yeah.
the producer. Sometimes the executive is the producer. So sometimes the person who brings the money is also the person who does all the running around, right? So that's really the simplest way that I can explain it, and I hope you know you get it. So yeah, that's it. So challenges. What challenge I want to share now? I think that I mean, one of the most obvious challenges is not being taken seriously, especially by people who are not in the industry. Because a lot of times, when people watch movies, they think that the actors came up with the lines, right?
Mm,
They think that the actors are the one, and I see it a lot. Like, for example, when this Justice Girl series. So if you're not watching Justice Girl series, is on YouTube, and you should go check it out. So the Just Girl series, I see when people are saying things like, this GT is crazy. This GT lines that GT said, GT said. And I'm just laughing because it's actually DICHE that said, right? Sometimes
but
it's Tokwe that said, right? What did you say?
I said, but somebody wrote it though.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So sometimes it's actually DICHE or Tokwe that is
Mm.
actually saying it's not GT. But I mean, it's a natural response, and I'm having fun. It's okay. There's no beef, trust me. But I'm just saying that it's easy for people to not remember that there's somebody who actually wrote those lines for the director, for the actors, right? And the
Actor.
way you're thinking about, oh, costume, somebody actually wrote, Ame is wearing a long skirt, Ame is wearing a, detail comes out wearing a blah, blah, blah. So all of those things have been the foundation of the whole show. Somebody actually wrote them down. And when, for example, they are doing publicity for the movie and they put out the trailer, they put out a poster, they put out all those things on maybe social media, and then they don't tag the writers. It didn't happen to us a lot. The industry, maybe, I don't know, maybe we just had same people that we worked for, who knows. But I know that it's a big problem, and it happened to us once or twice, right? Where you're done with the project and you don't even remember to say, oh, writers, hi, or you don't
Mm.
remember to even invite us to the premiere or put our name on the film. That has happened, right? Even though the
Mm.
producer was very apologetic and blamed it all on his editor and blah 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 blah. But that happens, and I feel that you can never forget to put the lead actor's name. Your editor can never forget. You can't forget it. So why would you forget the writers? Why would you forget any other person? Why would you forget the gaffer or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you feel like this person will sell your market and this person will not. I mean, I've paid the writer off, let them go. They're not as important as that. I don't need them in the premiere. They're going to do anything for me. I don't need, but the truth is you're going to come back to them for another job. You're not going to write the next one yourself.
Yeah.
And then that's when you now remember to be nice to them and you're smiling and laughing and they're just looking at you like, Oga, maybe you did premiere of the last one, you call me. Oh, maybe so you must be nice. I mean, the producers must be nice to everybody on their set and
Mm.
it's not just about being nice, really. It's about deserves. And then, like I said, people who are not in the industry, when you say, oh, you're good, you are working. Oh, what are you doing? I'm working. What are you doing? Like, oh, so what did you put right? There's this condescending
Dismissive,
way.
condescending. Yeah.
There's this condescending way that they address what you do, right? I remember. So for those who don't know, I'm like not professionally. I have a professional degree as a dentist, right? I
Mm.
have a bachelor's degree in dental surgery, and I used to be on the after we graduated, they formed a WhatsApp group, like so they'll put your sets on the WhatsApp group, everybody on the WhatsApp group, right? And so they put me first. I don't know, some issue I left, and then after some time, somebody begged me to come back to the group of and they added me back to the group. And unfortunately, it was the week they added me back to the group that one of the doctors was talking about. I think he was talking about AY. I think AY had just made a movie,
Okay.
and either he had just made a movie and the movie had made millions in the cinema, or it was his show. And you know how they do a table 1 million, table this, then
Mm.
And so the guy was saying, oh, that he was talking about how doctors um should how doctors I mean how it's something about why somebody writing just doing stupid films or just doing stupid jokes and earning this much and blah 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 and a doctor who is saving lives is not earning that it's just generally saying that people had misplaced priorities. Why would you go
Mm.
and pay 1 million for a table in a comedy show when you're not
Mm.
giving that 1 million to the doctor? And I was very, very pissed because, first of all, this is this person's source of livelihood. Everybody will not be a doctor. Everybody should not be a doctor,
Mm.
right? So he kept saying stupid just because you're telling stupid jokes, just because you're doing stupid film, just because. And I said, how do you use the word stupid for somebody's livelihood, for somebody's work? Like, this is this person's career. Just because he's not a doctor, then what he's doing is stupid, right? And I'm like, I mean, the guy is he's not your problem. Do you understand? It's not the cause. It's not the
Yeah.
reason that
It's
they're
the
paying 90K.
system.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault that they're paying you 90K. You understand?
Mm.
Take your growls and your anger and take it to government or whoever it is that is your problem because it's not a why. Your problem is not basket mouth. I can guarantee you that. And so, people are like, oh, DJ, don't be offended. And I'm like, me, I'm not offended. Everybody wants any millions. Why am I offended? Abby, is that not the correct? The correct is that you're angry that we have money. That's your anger. Because I left dentistry because I'm not a doctor anymore. I don't deserve to be rich. I don't deserve to be. And so, I mean, he apologized eventually and was like, oh, he's sorry. He didn't. And I'm like, I mean, it's because I just joined, but I don't know what you have been saying before I joined back. And this makes no sense because what you're trying to tell me now is that since I left dentistry, then I left it for a lower calling. That's what you're saying. Therefore, it's annoying to you that my industry, we should be paid more when we're just playing, as it were. Meanwhile, you're in the surgery. So of course, I gave him a watch. Anybody that knows me knows that my mouth is not good. It's Jesus that is helping me. So I wrote a very long episode, dealt with him, and left the group again. And I haven't gone back. I haven't gone back since. I'm sure that was like 6 years ago or 5 years. So it's just basically the way that people see the industry as a whole, and just say, oh, these people are playing. Are they even serious? Are they? And then when you say, oh, this is what I earn, or they paid you that. Yes, now they paid me that because I worked. Do you understand? It's work. So, and that's one of the narratives that Writers Inc. is really trying to change. Writers Inc. as a company, Writers Inc. as a brand, Writers Inc. as a movement, trying to say enough is enough. We're working and we deserve everything that we're being paid. In fact, we deserve everything. We're just, we're pitying you because of the we understand the situation of the country. If not, we should be asking for more because our work is important. Entertainment is important, as because when people come back from the hospital, they want to put on their TV and watch something. Solving a problem. I'm adding value, and if I'm adding police, lawyer, president, I don't care. Everybody's adding value, and there is a need for what I am saying and what I am bringing to the people, and therefore I deserve. Not be because I know somebody would have felt, somebody.
New story every time. Yeah. Please, I just want to say that, and that's why that statement, writers are at the bottom of the food chain. The thing, that thing, there's a way it touches my kidney. There's a way it touches my kidney. I'm telling you. Because the moment you believe that narrative, people will treat you the way that you treat yourself. The way that you handle yourself is the way that people will handle you or will treat you. So if you think that you are at the bottom of the food chain, then they will treat you like you are at the bottom of the food chain. I am at the end of, I'm at the top of the food chain. And it's so weird because when you talk about credits, right? Writers are on the above the line credits, which makes no sense. How do you say writers are at the bottom of the food chain? Meanwhile, when it comes to the credit list, writers are on the above the line credit. And when you talk about above the line credit, I'm talking about the people that really matter when it comes to the filmmaking process. So you have your producer, your executive producer, the director, the writers, DOP, Those are the people that you put in above the line credit. Do you understand? So
Mm-hmm.
please, when you know your worth and know your work. If you know your
Mm-hmm.
worth and you know your work, nobody
Yeah.
can bamboozle you. Nobody can.
Nobody.
Nobody can come
No.
and tell you that what's there. What are you writing? Is it not composition?
Mm.
You've not heard that one before.
I did English in school. I
Egg.
did it. Oh,
Aye.
I can write it. I just don't have the time.
When people say all those things, I build them more. Yeah, that's what I do. Yes. So when you started
Oh
me
my
that, I build you more.
God. And then
Please.
other questions. Any other
Yes,
questions?
the other question. Somebody says, please, how do you write a car scene, whether it's static or in motion? The scene editing, everything about it. I find it a little bit difficult. Can't get a proper sample from YouTube or Google.
Okay. Talk. I want to
Uh,
help out.
yeah. So if the car is static, right? So you're either outside or inside the car, right? So you can say interior. Whose car is it? Is it George's car or DICHE's car or Tokpet's car? So interior, Tokpet's car. Is it day or night? You put that, and then you start writing what is happening. Who's on the driver's side? Who's on the passenger side? You know, if that's interior. If it's exterior, are they standing by the bonnet? Are they standing by the trunk? Are they standing by the side? You know, where exactly are they standing? Right? And if it doesn't matter, you don't necessarily need to indicate. You can leave that to the discretion of the director.
Director.
Yes. Now, if it is a moving car, then what you now do is interior slash exterior, because they are inside the car, but they are moving as well, which is why you have the exterior. But what's really
They're on the
happening?
road.
They
So
are
they're
on
in
the
the
road.
car, but they're also on the road.
Yes. They're in the car, but they're also on the road. So what you can do also is, say for example, somebody is walking into their car, right? You can also say interior, exterior. So person walks into the car, gets in, is driving. The moment you say a character is driving, then they know that the car is not static. The car is moving, right? And then you put in your dialogue and all of that. I hope that helps. I think there are other questions. Let me see. Okay, no. Okay. Somebody says, wow, I didn't know you have to sometimes write what the actors are wearing. That's nice. Yeah, so
Yeah, especially
sometimes
if it's important. Especially if it's important to the storytelling, then yes,
yeah,
you have to.
you have to. You have to. You have to, hey, as a writer, you think as a thief, you think as the criminal, you think as the police, you think as the housemaid, you think as the CEO, you think as the cleaner, and their languages have to be different. They can't have the same kind of dialogue. If you're watching Justice Girls, you will see how distinct the dialogue of each of the character is. Jite is the sarcastic one, Koinsola is the soft spoken one, Ame is the Iyajesu. That one is a be blessed. We must be prayerful. Are you going like that?
Mm.
Then look at the Yamina. Yamina too. The way she talks is different. She's loud. She's into people's spaces. She has no boundaries. Each of the characters are so
Then
distinct. Even the
Ife is
guys.
childish and innocent.
Yes. Childish and innocent, right? So they are so distinct. Every single character distinct, and it has to shine through from your script.
Yeah,
It has to
yeah.
shine through from your
And
script.
when they're reading your script, the person reading your script or the person watching your film has to be shocked when they realize that one person wrote all those different people.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because they're thinking, how the hell is it the same person that wrote Jite, that wrote
Mm-hmm.
Ife, or that wrote
Mm-hmm.
Jite and wrote Koinsola's mom? Because
Yes.
the dialogue is different, the characterization is different, everything is different. But I've seen scripts where they're saying, oh, they are four friends, and all four friends sound alike. And I'm thinking, if I
Mm.
don't even read the heading, like I don't read that this is Jide and this is Henry, and this, I can think that it's Jide that is talking throughout.
Throughout.
But if you're reading
Yeah.
a Just Us Girl script, the moment you see Jide, it's like you don't have to look and see that you will know it's Jide that said this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Something that Amel will say, when you look at it, you will know that that's what. If Ife says, "Oh, can I come sleep?" You know that it's Ife. Nobody else will say this,
Yeah.
right? Or in these exact words.
Mm.
So being able to be distinct, and that's part of the the beginner's course, if you take it
Yeah.
on where we talk about
Dialogue.
characterization and dialogue. So
Yeah.
when you know who your character is, then you know how they will talk and how they
Mm-hmm.
will speak and all of that. So yeah, as a writer, you must write everything, oh, every single thing.
So please don't let anybody bamboozle you and make you feel and be treating you like a second class citizen. You are not a second class citizen. You're a first class citizen. Please.
Yes, yes.
Please.
And to address about the you didn't know that writers are supposed to also write what everybody will wear and all that. So one of the things, because I've seen writing that isn't quite detailed, right? A lot of writers
Mm.
do that they write stuff like, I mean, you can write anyway. What we're trying to get you to do is write excellently. There's a different, that's a different ball
Yep.
game, because anybody can really write. That's the truth. So what we're talking about is raising the bar and writing excellently. So one of the things that Topo and I try to do as much as possible is to write in such a way that it is hard for you to misinterpret us, or it is hard
Yes.
for you to mess it up. Even if we're not there with you on set, when you read it, you will get the picture. So if I tell you that Ame is a Jesus girl and I describe it from the way that she speaks, I describe it from the things that she wears, I describe it to where she goes, all of those things, then is somebody saying they can't hear me? I don't know. I thought I
Yeah,
saw
but
something.
here you do. So it's your next network. Oh. If you can hear her and you can't hear, because I can hear DICHE. Are you the
And I
only
can
one?
hear you.
Mm.
So basically all aspects. So that's just trying to make sure that it is not missed in any way, that this is the character of this person. So everything that would help your story and your script to be easier for the director and the producer to interpret, please add it. Please add it so that when you see your work on screen, you will not be angry like we sometimes have been.
even the actors if there's a certain emotion you want them to feel when they are saying certain things, including, that's why you have the parenthesis in there for those who already are using final drafts, included there. When actors read our script, one of the feedback we get from them is that it's like they can't miss it, they can't miss the emotion that we're trying to communicate. It's always so clear to them that this is what the writers want us to communicate. That's always the to be as detailed as possible. And when you say you should be detailed does not mean that you should go and write camera angle though. It does not mean that you should go and tell the director. It's true now and say, eh, 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 please. That one is not your business. That one is not your business. DJ, when DJ sees all those things, DJ will say, what's this one? This one does not have story. Right story, right?
You should have, because if you have story, you will not remember medium short. You'll be telling us
Um,
what's happening in the thing.
ah. Because you even be trying to squeeze as many things as possible.
Yeah.
Many things
Yeah.
as possible into the pages. Okay. So do we have any more questions? I think we will soon be rounding up.
Yes, we're rounding up now.
Yeah. But like I said, don't forget there's so many materials on our YouTube channel, and share to other community of writers. Invite them for this live. We'll be doing this every month. Well, every at the beginning of every month. I think it's now the first weekend, first Saturday, right, of every month. So
Yeah.
December,
Yeah.
this again. Let's set the date.
Yeah.
Invite people. Turn on your
Yeah.
notifications. Do whatever
Yeah.
you do. Yes, right. So like we can have more people on board and we can learn from one another. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Last, any
So, do we have
any
any last?
I'm asking you now, any last advice or comments or anything?
So I mean, if you're just starting on this writing journey, you're not alone. Whatever challenge or whatever you think you're trying to navigate, um, we've tried to navigate it before. At least somebody has. Maybe we haven't navigated, but there's always somebody has navigated that challenge, and communities help you to to rise faster, to make less mistakes, to do all of that. So if you see people who are doing what you'd like to do and doing it well, then try as much as possible. It is not always sending them a DM and saying, I want you to mentor me. I mean, they're not we can't mentor everybody one-on-one, and that's the truth. And that's why we shot those videos. That's why we did the writers room courses, right? So that you can get your um all the
Men-
information that you need. You can get your mentoring free and online and at your own pace. And then, like she said, once a month we're here to answer any questions that you have. So let other friends know, people who also are in the writing career or are trying to come into the writing career, trying to learn the ropes, to come on, let's learn, like Tokwe said, let's learn together. And it's a beautiful journey. It gets so much easier as you go along, as long as you're improving yourself and improving your craft and improving your character and improving your customer service. You will always be in high demand. Writers are needed. So, and more
Yes.
importantly, good writers are needed. So you will always be needed if you're doing it right, and
Um,
you'll be fine.
okay, that's a good one. I don't think I want to add anything to it. I've said it. They
Oh,
should go and be
girl.
using. They should go and be using that one first. They should go and use that advice first. When we come back next month, I will top it up. But for now, they are full. Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for joining. We really appreciate it. We appreciate
Okay.
every single one of you that joined. Like Topper said, please spread the word.
Spread the word. Spread the word. Watch the videos. Binge watch everything behind the story. Own story behind the story of all the different films that we've written. You see how
Mm-hmm.
process, some of the challenges we went through writing those stories, all of that. Just make use of all the materials. Share, 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 and subscribe. Thank you guys. See you
All
guys
right,
next.
everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Topper. Good night.
Bye.